Okay. Okay. You all know Miss Emily Vavra is here to share tonight. You guys know how much I'm so grateful and inspired that she came into my life and has been helping so many of us. And we are all getting to progress more. Like, if she didn't say yes and continue to persist and was determined and had a burning desire to change her, not only her life, but all of our lives, like, and everyone else going forward, we wouldn't be here. So I'm so grateful for you, Emily. It's like, I don't know if some of you know that I met her when she was a massage therapist. And I want her to share like a little bit of your story for those that really haven't heard it from you, just briefly. And then
Yeah.
people that are on here, really, they said they have a burning desire to change too, or they do want more, and like really what that looks like. So
Mm.
you take it away, girl.
Yes, I love you. I'm so inspired by you, Robin. You guys are so blessed that you get to work with this woman. There is no one more determined than her right now. Like, I'm just going to tell you that right now. And that energy is so freaking contagious. And I'm so excited to be here. For those of you that don't know a little bit of my story, I just really want you to know where I've come from, because you see this life now, which is amazing. Great. I love it. Praise God. But over a decade ago, like, I worked multiple jobs. I was, paying the bills, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I truly, like, worked as hard as I could. I worked for those of you that are in Minnesota, I worked at Wyzetta Plastic Surgery for Dr. Vogt since I was 19 years old. I did everything there that I could, from answering the phones to massaging people to learning plastics, like all of it. And then I was like, oh, okay, like, still hardly paying the rent. So I nannied 4 boys in Shoreview at the time, lived in Friendly Fridley. Okay, so I'm just giving you some geography. Drove to Wyzetta, and I was just like this girl that was like all around town. And then I competed for a year, and I just like literally knew how to work hard, but I didn't know how to create real wealth. Okay. And I also didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was working in my zone of genius. I had no idea. I didn't know what I didn't know, KNOW, until I met Holly. So Holly introduced me to isogenics. She lost 90 pounds using isogenics, and she entered the IsaBody challenge. And I proofread her essay, and I had no idea what the frick I was proofreading, other than like this awesome story. I didn't understand, I didn't comprehend it. She was working for a place called HSBC, which was in Edina, Minnesota, mortgage banking. Literally, if you remember this, it was 2010, okay, right after the last crash. She got her severance. So she was making a 6 figure plus income, wearing business suits, worked with all the boys, and got laid off. And the thing is, isogenics for her was this passion thing. It was the products that finally was allowed her to release weight. She tried like every Jenny Craig, every Weight Watcher situation there was out there. And it was this thing that she always will say she knew the possibilities, but it wasn't until she got her severance that she was like, okay, I'm going to make a real decision, which is what this call is all about. And so she dove in, and I wish I could tell you that it was like the weight loss that made me say, oh, Holly, sign me up. But it wasn't. It was when, after she got laid off, and I didn't know she got laid off, but she moved into a studio apartment in Uptown. She literally had her bed and her kitchen, and everything smelled like fish. It's gross. And she literally started to pursue something that clearly was lighting her soul on fire. I had no idea that she was cycling around 13 times a week, and it was growing because she just started to pursue it. I had no idea of the intricate details. I had no idea it was even network marketing. All I knew is she was walking Lake Calhoun at noon on a Monday. All I knew is she was going to these isogenics events and looked really happy and got to work with women that also looked happy. And I wanted more. So I said, hey, is your company hiring? I love health and wellness. And we met at Caribou Coffee at Uptown in Minneapolis. And that's the day that like half of it was gibberish. and this is really important to tell you. Like, I didn't understand half of the stuff she was saying. The circles and the BV and the PV and the none of that mattered. What mattered to me is I finally had an answer, because there was enough people that had success, and she was a woman on a mission, and she was going to do it with or without me. So that's your first clue. Robin's going to do this with or without you. She'd rather do it with you. And I was the woman that was like, you know, Holly's 10 years older than me. So I was 23, she was 33 at the time. And I was like, okay, like, what do I have to do to like get your attention? And she said, I need you to just show up and be my business partner. And she was really real with me. She's like, it's not about performance. I'm not going to get mad at you if you don't hit top rank right away. It does nothing to do with it. But what I have to do to like allow you to utilize my time is for you to show up on calls like this. I need you to show up to the trainings. I need you to dance with me, because the minute that you're out, you're always going to be here in my family, and I'll always answer your texts and I'll always answer your calls, but you're not going to be first priority anymore. And so she laid that groundwork for me, Robin, really like early on. So I had a level of like, yeah, we were friends, but I also really respected this as a business. And I think that's what really helped me, because a lot of people that do network marketing, they randomly sell it, which is a beautiful thing for people's families, but they don't ever achieve a level of success of like this being a replacing an income or something like that, because they never set it up that way, if that makes sense. So that was the groundwork. And I want to like really just share this. Like, I had no idea how to close someone on a 30-day system, on a value pack. I had no idea how to draw out you share, they share, compensation plan. People would ask like business questions, and I didn't come from a business background. I came from a health background. So like, I would just be like, oh my gosh. And what I quickly learned is having a mentor condenses time frames. And I want to share with you, like, I grew up with a single mom, and for the longest time in my life, I wore it as a badge of honor to just do it myself. Like, oh, I got it, I'll figure it out, I don't need your help. And what I quickly realized in this business was to have grace for myself and for what I don't know, and to drop my ego and to utilize a mentor that's like willing and ready to help me. And I have to put my ego aside and ask for help. So that's what I did, because I was like, I don't know any of this and I really want to learn it. So how I learned, like literally when I first got started, I became a consultant like pretty much right away, because Holly had a 30-day system in her Jeep at the time. I signed up. She sent the 30-day back to her. She gave me her 30-day she had on hand. I went to her studio apartment in Minneapolis. She blended me a shake. We made a Facebook post about doing a detox cleanse. I had 900 Facebook friends, no Instagram, mind you. Okay. And we made a list of contacts, and we found 2 people that were open to learning. And literally, you guys, I tasted the shake. I liked it. I was excited. And I got the person, at the time it was my hairdresser, Marissa, on the phone with Holly. And I said, this is my friend, Holly. I said, I've never been this excited before. I want you to meet Holly. And I shut up and I grabbed my notebook and I just started taking notes. And I learned how Holly talked to her and how she ended up closing her and all that good stuff. And the second person was Julie Ann Borchert in Lena, Wisconsin, mom of 4 boys, personal trainer. This is a woman I competed with. And again, she knew a lot about nutrition, stuff that I literally, I didn't even know anything about the shake other than it tasted good. So I put Holly on the phone with her, and this condensed time frames. Okay. So that's one of the first big clues to success for anybody that wants to go for it. Like you may be esteemed in your current business. You may be so good at what you do. And this is maybe like, I got it. I don't need, it's not about needing guys. It's about having that mentorship that is going to literally create more confidence in you when you do isogenics. Because eventually you don't need to have somebody with you all the time. You know that, but you're going to quickly learn that the value of you helping a couple people and mentoring them, like Robin mentors you, like I mentored Robin, like Holly mentored me. Like I hope you kind of get that trickle effect. But the thing is, and why this call is so like just pure fire right now is because, you know, when I was talking to Robin, I was like, who like on your team like really wants it? I'm like, who do I need to be looking out for? Like, who are the people showing up? Like, I mean, I know you've got amazing people, but who are they? And it's you. It's you. It's all of you on this call. Like, clearly you're showing up for a reason. And I love this because I have permission then, because of how this call was pre-framed. I can talk to you differently than even like on a team call or something, because knowing that you really want to do it, I can give it to you straight. Right, Robin?
Absolutely. Like we're going, you know, everyone is like, wants to go to executive. They want to change their life. They want residual income. They want time freedom, all the things they want with their family. And then gunning for Eric Worre's home and the Team Vision Cast Mastermind is so exciting. So absolutely. This is for people that really want to grow, that are here. You know, there's a lot of people that want it too. And I know there's a lot of things but going on, but thank you. Like, no, it's like when I started, I had no clue. I didn't know what the heck, Emily, like legit. You can just say, like, you can tell those stupid stories about me. Like, I was like, I don't know, talking to my friend Emily. And how about the fact that I got people on three-way call with you? And then I was like, oh, I'm picking up Charlie and Tristan from daycare. I gotta go. What? Yeah. Don't do that. But
but here's the thing, like, and this is so, I wish we had video cameras on all this so you guys could literally see. Here's the thing, the factor that separates everything is the hunger and drive. Like, if you want it, I want you to know right now that we will never think you look dumb. We will never, you know, like be like, are they serious right now? Because I think that's a lot of the holdups when I talk to people. They're so afraid of looking dumb. They're so afraid of being like, is this an asinine, crazy freaking question? No, it's not. You should have seen the questions that I ask, and even that I still ask you guys. Like, nothing is dumb. What I want to work with, who I want to work with, who Robin wants to work with, who Melanie wants to work with, is somebody who literally is asking those questions. If you're blowing up my phone, and if you're like tagging me constantly and throwing me DMs saying, read this, and I got this person and that person, that is the person that I literally would invest my life into. Because that's pretty much what it is at this point, you know? And so I want to give you full permission to be like that, because even though Robin was a hurricane at first, she didn't know that energy was giving me energy. And literally it was just like teaching etiquette and teaching this and teaching three-way, all the things that we, honestly, who teaches us these things, right? So anyways, I just want to affirm that for you. Like, if you're like, I mean, you see us today, there's even random skills that like slides and technology and certain things, like we all have different strengths here. And that's the beautiful thing about this business, is eventually it becomes a collective effort, and you have a team where they're good at this and they're good at that, and you just delegate it all. And that's the beauty of leverage. But in the beginning, it's the beginning stages that you're in right now that I'm telling you what, like, if you want to condense time frames, like having a mentor, going to Eric Worre's house in Las Vegas, like being not only just for isogenics, but for your life. I mean, we've got a lot of women on, Kurt's on, we've got, you know, most of us are women. Like, if you can get around other women that love themselves, respect themselves, have courage, they're brave, like they are unapologetic about who they are, inadvertently, it's going to force you to rise up and be who God created you to be. And your voice that you have, it's not about finding it, it's about using it. And so that's what happens when you hang out with people that live a bold life. And it is not by accident that you're on this call right now. You would not feel even remotely called to type in the success password on the Zoom. Okay. Or you wouldn't have the discipline if for some freaking reason you couldn't watch this live to go back and watch a recording of a Zoom if you didn't care. And knowing that you care that much, you have to give yourself the chance to do this. You have to give yourself the chance to go for Vegas. So the time is ticking right now. And, you know, I just want to go back really quick to condensing timeframes. So, and someone said this to me that was like a Harvard business MBA, blah, 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 all the degrees, right? Someone out here in LA, they were like, but how? They're like, you didn't go to college. You're like, you're in Ford. Like this guy was asking me all these questions. And I was like, I read books, I went to conferences, but the major thing is I seeked out mentorship. And when someone was willing to give me their time, I literally honored that and I ran alongside of them. And that's the big difference. And I said, mentorship condenses timeframes. So if I can work with somebody that's already done this for a decade, for 5 years, for however long, that's going to shorten my time frame. And when you understand that, you value it a lot more. When you understand that you have been invited to go to a dang near multi-millionaire's home and spend time with his family and his home and his pool and his essence and his wisdom and his wife's wisdom that has a whole multiple decades of business experience. They're world-renowned people. They are good friends with Pitbull and Tony Robbins, and you know their frequency. Like when you understand the value of that, you will go to work to get there, because it's not even about what you achieve from this business. It's not about like a car or a pin level or a rank. It's about the person that you end up becoming to get to that pin level or rank. That's what it's about. You know, like as I do all these vision board things, it's not even the freaking things that get me excited. It's the woman that I know that I have to become in order to obtain it. And I want you to get that. So we are literally like, we have weeks to qualify for this, Robin.
I know, it's so exciting. I know. So it's like lining up, you know, what some people have been doing. I mean, I know Sadie has been, I mean, Tina had an event, Lisa, we have an event here shortly too. You're doing an event, like inviting to events, but also like 3-way calls. And I know we talk about it all the time, but that's legit. Like if I didn't do that with you, like you offered that to me.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. And I was like, yeah, yep, I'll do it. Okay. And you asked me if I wanted to do a launch event, and I did it. And then I did another one and another one. And then when you moved to California, what happened?
Oh gosh, then you grow.
Yeah, then I was forced to grow even more. It's like, well, who's okay? Emily's not here to do it with me or for me. I have to do it. You have to just develop and create it. So it's like, and that's what I want, like for everyone else, like just to, and it's who you become just from the action and doing it. But
yes,
some people I think get in their head, like, I need to get on these calls. I need to learn all the knowledge. I need to know all the facts.
oh God, no, like you don't. And I mean, honestly, the less you know, the better. And you may be able to get someone started on collagen with your eyes closed and you feel really confident about it. But the thing that's so important with having a welcome call, maybe you sign somebody up, but you're welcoming them and it's literally I'm like, this is 10 minutes. I just want to introduce you to our support team, right? It's because I'm just using Robin as an example here, but she has more confidence in the business than you probably do. And that's why it's important, is because it's not that you didn't mention the business. It's not that you didn't do a good enough job. It's another layer of like, oh my gosh, this is what's available, right? And it's also a really special call if you start to have them, because you're welcoming somebody else into our tribe, if you will. And they're like, whoa, this is more than I thought it was, because everything is so fabricated on the internet, on Instagram, on Facebook. Sometimes that's all people see of us, that are of you. And when you welcome them in and you kind of pull back the curtain of Oz, and maybe you didn't ask them certain questions, but Robin does, that provokes something inside of them to take a closer look, that could be your next consultant. That could be your next person. And so that's why it's really important. It's not even about like you knowing enough to do the calls. It's about that inclusive and exclusive exclusivity of inviting somebody in. So it's so important. And so what I'm doing, because I've done a lot of calls with people that are like, I want to get to Vegas. How do I do this? I mean, even people that have been in for a while that are like, I make residual income, but I need to qualify. I need the leader in action points. And so, you know, what I told them, and it was the same thing I'll tell you, is like, treat this as if it's day one, or maybe right now this call is the day that you literally decide to just go for it. Maybe you haven't really made that decision yet to like cannonball in the pool. And just like anything, when you launch any kind of business, you have a business launch. Okay. When you launch a product, when we launched collagen, we had a product launch. When my friends launch books, they have book launches. They go on book tours, and it's like this whole thing. That's what you do when you launch something big. There's campaigns, there's a whole thing around it. So why don't you, maybe if you have never have your own business launch? And I don't care if you've been in for a year, 5 months, it doesn't, time frame makes no difference. Like, okay, something I want to tell you is, when we talk to other people about Isogenics, all they have is a sign on them that says, what's in it for me? Okay. All the details for my detailed friends, that doesn't matter. What matters is someone like Bella saying, you know, I have been in this for, what has it been? A couple of years now, Bella? 2 years? Yeah. I've been in this for 2 years, but I'm officially launching my executive leadership team. I'm officially, and I'm not going to put words in her mouth, but whatever she wants to say. And why it's so powerful is you could have a 20-minute business launch with Robin. If you need me, I'm here with Mel, whoever you need. If you need Hayden, you can recruit him. Okay. But you'll have a business launch, 20 minutes. It's you and whoever. And what it does, you schedule it for next Tuesday at 7:00. What it does is it lights a fire under your butt, because you're like, it's me and Robin. And you're like, whoa. And then what it does, because you're doing this, it's intimate. So you may call, this is what I did. I called my mom. I called my aunt. I called the lady I used to nanny the 4 boys for. I was like, who? And I called in favors, literally. And it was more comfortable for me this way. I said, can you do me a favor? My mentor has challenged me to do a business launch, and I'm really passionate about this. This is what I'm going to do. Don't worry. Like, I'm not going to pressure you to sign up for it. You're just going to learn, but I need to have people on to watch me share my story. Would you be open to doing that? Like, Mom, I just really want you to know like what I'm really passionate about. Fine. And so I've been doing this for multiple people, and like their work is on, their family is on. Guess what happens? A lot of them end up signing up. Okay. But then what happens is you come on, let's say Sadie's doing it. Sadie shares her story, and she thanks all of her contacts for supporting her. And she shares why she joined Isogenics. If she's got a health story with it, she shares why she's doing the business. She kicks it over to Robin. Robin briefly, not a long deep dive. It's not like, we're not going to have an intermission here. It's quick. We go through and we close it with a bang and get your people signed up. But this is a way for people to take you a little more seriously, your family too, also for you to get some enrollment points. And then of course, work on rank advancing and just really step into your leadership. You'll never be perfectly ready for this. You won't. Even when we launched collagen, we weren't ready as a company. We literally were not ready. There's never a perfect, I'm sorry, there's not. It's like we do events. I remember doing events in Minnesota, and I was like, oh, okay, great, it's snowing. Half the people aren't going to come now because there's snow. And like, remember that, Rob? It's like, great, you know, and it's like, that's the way it works. You just have to, yeah, yeah. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So that's an idea for you. Scheduling quick Facebook lives is an idea for you. You know, like just getting yourself out there and honestly showing up more is an idea for you. So yeah, Lisa. Yes, Lisa's been a perfect example of this. She goes for it. She's just going for it, you know? So does that make sense?
Yes, I'm so grateful. Like you guys, like literally though, I know earlier I said that I did my first call, a couple calls, and I was like getting Charlie and Tristan. But then after that, I was like, you gotta be listening. You show up. And I still am hungry. Like I listen. And you know how Emily talked about it on the other call? Was it last week, this week, whatever? It's always like, you even had said this, it's like you show up, you're at the meeting and it's like this, or you show up at the events and you're in the chair and you're not like this.
Yeah.
You're listening, but like, I mean, anyone, you can do this and just keep failing forward. That's what I was saying. Like I legit had no clue and I really didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that she like made some money and it was like, okay, or she was doing good and they were happy. And I legit didn't really know until I went to the event and then I heard other people, but then I knew it was possible, whatever it was.
Right.
I was like, I'll just, whatever she's doing, I'll say I'll listen and I'll show up. I'm going to show up to the events and get them on a three-way call and I'll do another launch event and I'll just let them talk and then I'll start talking a little bit more, and
The
just,
thing that you did really well is you just trusted and you had faith and you trusted the process without knowing exactly the roadmap to get there. Like you trusted, and every exposure you guys have, every new learning thing, it's a moment, it's a teaching moment, and you keep learning and growing. And what I find for really type A people, that freaks them out a little bit because they're like, but I don't know everything. You're never going to know everything. And welcome to entrepreneurship,
yeah.
and that's why it is a bit of a change because it's like there's some learning curves. But the thing is, the fastest way to learn is by taking action. It is not by learning and sitting on calls every freaking second. Okay. So that's the thing. It's like what action has been taken. And that's how you really truly learn. And that's what Robin did. She just went for it. And then it was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Tell me, teach me, show me. And that's how we learned and that's how we grow. And it's not about being perfect. And one thing with this business is like, honestly, the less perfect you are, the better because other people see that they can do it too. And, that's what makes it literally duplicatable. So,
Even like I would like screenshot you messages from people all the time. Like I'm like, what should I say this? What should I say that? Should I post this? Should I say this? Like all
yeah,
the beginning. Okay.
yeah.
I think is Bella raising her hand? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering when you were saying about, Facebook Lives and stuff, will you share a little bit more?
Yeah, yeah, like ideas for Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what grabs attention? Okay. So, a really intriguing title grabs attention. So, I would start by saying like something you don't know about me that might shock you. Dot dot dot. And before you do the live, even me as an experienced speaker, I don't do anything without being prepared. Like I could totally go on the fly and have some fun with you, but like it's all about preparedness when you're going live, so that way you don't freak out. You know what I mean? So like right now I'm on my desktop, so I could go to my notes section and I could do like what's two things I'm going to talk about in my life. I try not to keep it longer than 10, maybe 15 minutes if I'm flowing. And, you may say, and then you may go on the live and you don't wait for people. You don't go, oh, there's Aunt Sally and blah, blah, blah. You want to go right away because you got to realize that people are going to be doing the hashtag replay. So be like, hi, it's Bella here. Thanks so much for joining. I know, really intriguing title, right? I'm so excited. If you're here live, hello. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. I want to share with you something super intimate tonight that I know that has haunted me for years that maybe you deal with too. And then boom, you cut to the chase, whatever it is. It may be, for years I felt unfulfilled in my work, or maybe it's for years I suffered with, like for me, I suffered with binge eating due to stress. After I competed in fitness, I developed, I guess we're going to call it an eating disorder. Like it was like before I found isogenics, it was like, and Mel or people that have competed understand this a bit better, but like you go from like being this small to it's just bad. I'm not going to go on into this whole thing, but until I found the adaptogens and, having the superfoods, like I didn't, my relationship with food was like all over the place. And so that might be a really like intimate Facebook Live, that how many people, not even that competed, but just deal with emotional eating. I remember growing up watching my mom like be stressed and overeat, and like, and then I found something, and so I may share I found something. That may be something. So just having more like, here's the real truth. We live in a really noisy world, and you need a way to grab people, and bring them in. Or maybe you've never really come out of the closet that you're like really doing isogenics or network marketing, and when somebody that's like established in business does other things, when they come out that they're doing this, like I remember when Zach and Jessica Sikich did, it was like, whoa, he's like a business guy. He's multiple businesses, and so many amazing people flocked to joining them because he was like, this may seem a little like, why are they doing this? But here's why. And he was like, I'm on the ice, I'm on the rink, like late at night, and I never see my family, and I'm constantly traveling, and we want a nest egg. We want to have a cushion. And when they opened up, it was like, they drove like a really nice car and all these things. But when they opened up, that allowed other people to be like, okay, I want to join you, So Facebook Lives could be something like that. Something spicy, just, you kind of got to think of that. Like what could be something you could share? People like vulnerability, but they also like education. So I went through this, but this is what I learned to get out of it. Those are like the best things to share. You never want to talk down to people. Like I always try to talk at their level. Feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, blah, blah, blah. And then I found. So does that kind of help?
So good. So
Okay.
good. Anybody else have any questions? I know we want to like wrap it up in like 4 minutes, less than that, since we have the 2 events coming up. Do you guys have any other questions right now? Like
Anything.
I know now's the time.
I mean, if no one's going to ask, okay, really quickly, like me and Dewey do like a Dwellis chat, like after church Sunday evenings about like what we kind of learned and just our cooking and just chatting.
Yeah.
Is that not like, give me some tips?
How long are they?
I don't know, probably 10 minutes. Too long?
No, that's good. I would just give a spicy title.
Okay.
So have more of like a subject so people can know. Like if you watch like my IG live TVs, they're Facebook lives or Instagram lives that I just save and I put them there. So I refurbish my content. I'll make one piece of content and I use it all over the place. But I always have a subject so people can see like, oh, I don't care about that. Oh, I care about that, and you just, that's how you build it. So I would, even like a subject could be like, we used to always fight about this, ... Or, oh my God, this is fun. I could literally come up with content all day long. It's so fun.
I want to know your top tools, but I think Melanie has a question.
Yes, quickly. So Saturday is my 5-year anniversary. So what would you do around that? And should I do a business relaunch? What do I do with the 5 years and what do I do?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So I would take like tonight after the calls or whenever the boys go to bed, I would take a journal and really journal, Mel, like who have you become in the last 5 years? What have you learned? You've been through resilience. You've had people stab you in the back. You've had, you've literally come out of your shell. If you guys have seen this woman, she's come out of her, you have embraced who you are. You built a business while going through 2 pregnancies and having infants in the house. You've gone through a move. You've gone through all the things you've gone through building the business. I would just brain dump it all and then do a live on, you know, on 5 things you've learned in 5 years of being an entrepreneur and building a 6-figure business, and promote that. And you could even chunk it out, the 5 things out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 later, and like piece them out. But all the things in honor of 5 years. In honor of 5 years, I'm relaunching my business. There's a special incentive. Like, I don't know what that is. We can just make it up. But like literally just 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Like that's what I would do.
Amazing. Okay. I don't know if you have 1 minute. We have 1 minute. I don't know. Sunshine. Sunshine.
Who stabbed you? Yeah. We've all had stories. You guys, I've had like assistants do things to, like, when you're in business long enough.
Charlotte's trying to ask something, but you're not unmuted, Charlotte.
This is.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Emily. How you doing, sweetie?
Good. How are you?
Great. One quick question. What is the difference between a soft launch and the actual launch? What's the difference between those two?
A soft launch and an actual launch.
A soft launch?
Yes. Oh, soft.
Because you were talking about how this got then this launched.
Yeah, we don't do soft. Okay, just kidding. I think soft launch is kind of like, it's kind of like you're just naturally doing attraction marketing. A launch is when you're like, no, like I'm launching a business. Like if I were to launch a chiropractic office down the street, like I would go to all the neighborhood businesses and like pass out flyers and let them know I'm the new chiro in town. And I would go to people that who's like a massage. I would go to like a massage therapist and say, you know, I'm the new chiro in town. And I would call all the friends and family, and I'd have a grand opening event, and I would, which is like your business launch. You know what I mean? Like I would shout it to the rooftops of like, I'm really launching a business. And the thing that you guys have to realize is like, you have me as well. Like, this isn't like a trial thing that you're just trying, like you have people that are the best in the industry, like supporting you. So like use us. So that's what I would say.
Okay, we gotta go. You gotta go, right?
Yeah, we gotta go get on the 11 day. Oh, and then use the 11 day, you know, like for real. That's gonna be a great way to get to Vegas. Okay.
I'm taking a picture. Jeez.
Oh.
Yay.
I don't know what these are.
Good job, you guys, for showing up.
Thank you, Emily.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes.
Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You guys, I'm gonna